Okay, this message is for ADIs and PDIs. Now, I've had an ADI who has messaged me saying that he's being put off from continuing his role as an ADI and reconsidering his position or maybe find another occupation. Now, the first thing he's saying that there's a lot of pushy parents out there and also getting some learners who are failing the test, which is setting him back. Second thing he's mentioned is I only give the learners either 1 hour or 2 hours a week. Okay, so there's not enough time per week to teach them throughout where they're learning enough for the previous week. And the third thing he's mentioned is that he will teach the learners something. For example, the example he gave was the MSPSL. He said, I'll speak to them about that, go through the whole thing several times throughout the lesson, and by the following week, they forget it. Now, the answer to all these three, the first one about pushy parents and people failing their test. Now, you're always going to get parents who are paying for these lessons, and it is quite expensive, wanting to know the progress of their child. But again, the child or the learner is old enough, so you can only really and truly interact with them. You'll speak to the parents beforehand, start their lessons, then you can just communicate with the learner. You don't really need to interact with the parents after that, unless you really want to. So I wouldn't say don't interact with them. Again, it's totally up to you, but you don't have to. Also, with the second bit of that question where you were saying you think there's too many learners or learners are failing and it's putting you off, that should never put you off. As long as you feel like you're giving 100%, then there is going to be learners who fail. Not everyone can pass. Another thing I would say is if you feel like you're not doing enough, there's things like sitting at the back of a test, listening to the wording the examiner's using, what are they asking them to do during a test. These things will help you prepare your learners also. Now, the second part of the question, or the second thing you said about that's putting you off, was you're only giving 1 or 2 hours to a learner during the week is probably not enough. How much can you teach them? I would say it's all down to their affordability. Now, if they can only afford 1 lesson a week, then they have 1 lesson a week. If they can have 2 lessons a week, then they have 2 lessons a week. The ones who have more lessons per week and in a short period of time have lessons in a short period of time, then they are going to progress a little bit more. It's like everything in life, regardless if it's sports, cooking, college, university, the more effort you put in, the more in return you will get. Now, if the learner is only having one hour a week and they can only afford 1 hour a week,